Well, another comment about silver bikini, and a silver flowers on a bikini, and a silver fish. Now, I was thinking about something with this food supply getting greatly diminished by probably a lot more than 62% of the continental United States in severe drought, because even California farmers are feeling the effects. It may be a time to turn to fishing, but I guess that's going to have to be in lakes, because it looks like most of the Pacific Ocean's got a bunch of radioactive fish, and the fish that are over in the Gulf, they're probably still full of correction and oil, for all I know. So, if you know how to go fishing, that might be the deal to do, because what's really been rising in prices lately, as far as commodities, has been agriculture, not silver. Silver did all right today, but you got to actually look at it this way. Silver, when it takes off, is going to freaking take off more like a rocket and do the same old garbage again. Probably crash a little bit, then take off like a rocket again. I don't know where the hell it's going to, but I figure the minimum is going to be at least close to $200 an ounce, but it could go a lot more. Now, if I was going fishing, I probably wouldn't do it this way. I'd probably just use little mini depth charges on the side of the boat with sonar, blow them up, and scoop them up with a big net and get it done with, because I got no patience. But anyway, that's just not in the real world. Anyway, the couple things. Mario Draghi, last week he talked about, he's going to do whatever it takes to preserve the euro. So all the markets started going up. You say some nice words, the markets go up, which tells you what? The markets are psychological. It's all psychological. And it really has nothing to do with traders aren't listening to, or people or investors aren't listening to. Well, what's the mining report on silver? What does it say? No, Mario Draghi says whatever it takes to preserve the euro will do. So much for fundamentals, I guess they have a way of catching up, but it takes a hell of a long time. The ECB, the European Central Bank, also they're probably going to buy Spanish bonds, maybe even Italian government bonds, to lower their borrowing costs. This way, if they buy them, then I ain't going to have to sell them on the open market for 8% or whatever the hell they're doing right now. Something else that came up, and in the future, we got a couple problems coming up here. This is, excuse me, right here. This is the PMI, the Global Manufacturing Index. Now, as of the end of June, it was below 49. Anything below 50, or even a little bit, say 50.3 and below, that means you're in contraction. So it's definitely in contraction on a global scale. Even Germany and France is in contraction. The powerhouses in Europe and stuff. China's government numbers say 50, but who the hell knows? They're probably below 50. The U.S. numbers are looking good. That's what they were looking good. I bet you in July they don't look good, and there's a couple reasons. See, this is what the markets are waiting for. The markets are waiting for what they got a lot of statistics coming out this week. In other words, Monday wasn't supposed to be such a hot day. Now the metals went up pretty good, Here they go. Silver jumped up 39 cents, platinum went up $4, and palladium went up $4. So silver and palladium did good today. That's all we're really concerned about. I guess most people are really only concerned about silver. But today was supposed to be an extremely dull day, and the markets didn't fare so well otherwise, but they were pretty flat. They were pretty flat. I mean, the Dow is basically right on the same where it was. It's down 3 points, big deal. But what we're waiting for is more data coming out as far as how things are going in the economy. So all the reports for July are coming out this week, Consumer sentiment, and this PMI is going to be a big one. Now, I'm going to say this. Here's an indication that it probably isn't good. At least this is from a U.S. Perspective, because it says the main Dallas Fed Index report fell to negative 13.2 from 5.8. That means there's a major contraction going on in manufacturing in that Texas region. So that's one thing that came out. I don't know how all the rest of it's going to come out. I personally think stuff is a lot worse than you think for another reason, because there's another thing out here. This is called the Baltic Dry Index, and it's going down. That shows you how much shipping's going on. So for the month of July, it looks like it took a little rise here in the beginning of July, but then it started creeping down for the rest of July. So usually when shipping's down, that means there's a lot less manufacturing going on too, right? Now, so I looked over here. This is the Commodity Research Bureau's index, all right? This looks like it's going up a little bit during the month, but you know what? You know what's included in here? Agriculture. So in reality, if you, I don't know what the numbers are, but if you're just looking at gold and silver, platinum, palladium, oil, everything's kind of flat. It really isn't moving up that much. I mean, it moved up a little bit today. It's in 28 for silver, if everybody's concerned about that more. But commodities in general really aren't up. But if you look at corn went from like $4 to $8 inside of no time. I mean, it doubled. So corn and soy are going through the roof. So that's all figured in this commodity index, which looks like it's a slow rise. The rest of the industrial commodities, they're probably sitting very flat. And that's another indication the economy is probably pretty bad. So, I'm going to say, I got a little bit of a conspiratorial mind about some of this stuff, We heard about Lindsey Williams talking about the food prices going up. You won't be able to afford the food, right? Well, if I was a really shrewd elite Illuminati guy trying to depopulate the earth and have my little HARP stations out there, this is how I'd do it. So, I don't know what the hell that means, though. I mean, the thing is, we're already stuck in a situation. But that's food there, fish. So, that's another way around it. I guess a lot of people are going to be taken to the lakes, and gators are going to be disappearing from Florida because I heard they taste like chicken, so to hell with it. As far as endangered species, forget about it. That's all I got to say. They're food. But anyway, that's an interesting thought. I almost kind of thought about some of this stuff. You look at it over a long, slow process. We had record rainfall in the United States. I don't know, last year, in Mississippi was like almost up to the heights of its flood banks and stuff. And this could all be natural. I don't know. Some weird-ass earth changes going on. But then we had the oil spill, which wasn't, we had the oil spill right before that in 2010 in the Gulf. It killed off a lot of food out there and poisoned the hell out of everything. And if people, eat the seafood, it might taste okay now, but it's probably laced with Corexit for all I know. I mean, that's using a little common sense, so people are going to get, it's going to screw people up, I guess, if you eat a lot of that seafood. I don't know. I mean, it seems to be. Then you got the nuclear accident in Japan last year from early 2011 with Fukushima, and it's poisoned about, most of the ocean's fish in the Pacific all the way to California. That's a hell of a lot of food supply taken out. You add that up between the Gulf, the Pacific. I mean, it didn't kill all this food supply. I don't want to make a big drama thing here, but that's a significant reduction of food supply. And in what happened in the United States, in the breadbasket in the United States. So between all that stuff, we're going to see, without Ben Bernanke pinprinting any money at all, we're going to see a lot of jumps in food prices. This is going to be interesting. And, who the hell knows? Maybe it is a conspiracy. Maybe it is. Point is, you really can't do nothing about it because who the hell, if they did it, if the Illuminati did this, who the hell knows? What the hell are you going to do about it? Go get yourself a boat and start fishing in a lake. That's about all you're going to do about that. So, anyway, and speaking of conspiracies, I know there's a lot of people having a lot of, I paid attention to it, and I still think it's possible with the, an attack on 2012 Olympics and all this garbage. Well, I think a lot of people were thinking it might have happened at the opening ceremony in the Olympics, but, I started thinking about that. I said, boy, that wouldn't be the right time. The Queen of England's there and stuff like that. You got Paul McCartney singing under the big bell that rings the Olympics and all these dignitaries. Yeah, so I mean, if there's going to be something that happened in the Olympics, I mean, the Queen of England ain't going to be there. I mean, right after she parachuted down from the sky, I know that was her stunt lady did it, but still, crazy things they got going on over there. I think that's a loony show as it is, but they got a lot of crazy shit out there. But whether it's an Illuminati plan thing or whatever, all the security they got, I looked at some of the stuff they got for security. They got like anti-aircraft missiles sitting on residences, looking for like possibly killer drones coming in that are gonna fly some poisons out or something. I mean, they got every damn thing out there for defenses. But the thing is, if you really want, if a person's determined enough, there's so many people going in and out of that stadium or whatever that area. It could still happen. It could still happen. There's no such thing as 100% perfect security. So, I don't know. But as far as the markets go, if there's a black swan event that occurs, we might see all the markets turn down. So, we might see something where, the summer's been proven to be pretty volatile in short runs. In other words, somebody will say something, bring the metals up like 5% inside of a day. One day the oil went up about 7% or $7 or something. One day, then it drops back down. You might see some like talk about, the euro situation getting resolved. All the investors will start pouring in and stuff like that. Then you might see this black swan event occur with the 2012 Olympics and take the wind out of the sails. Now that's something that's pretty conspiratorial type stuff. That's pretty out there, but that's something I'm kind of watching for. Considering it's only got a few weeks to go, I'm going to watch patiently. If something happens crazy over there that affects the markets, that's going to be a time that I'm going to buy something, and that gets severely clobbered, and go from there. So I think people should be a little patient on this stuff. If you're holding gold and silver, just hold it. I think the next thing you're going to have to worry about is food, though. I think that's going to be coming up here pretty soon, because a lot of factors are going to be raising food prices even without QE. You throw in QE on top of that, damn, food is going to be some expensive stuff. That's a good warning I'm giving people. Although I'm trying to update a little bit about silver. These silver fish might be worth a hell of a lot of money.